There it goes.
Hi. Okay, we're gonna put this tile in here and we're gonna cut it to fit this base. So we're gonna have to basically scribe it in without scribing it in. All right, now the first thing you need to know is the length of your tile. What is the square on this tile? It's a 19 by, no, I'm sorry, it's a 20 by 20. That's what they're calling it. Okay? But you can see here that it's not a 20 by 20. It's actually a 20 by, I'm sorry, a 19 by 5/8. Okay? So, by 5/8, that means it's 3/8, actually 7/16 short of being a 20 by 20. All right. So, having said that, we know the tile size of our tile. All right. So just because the box says it's 12 by 12, it's not. Okay. And that's why this is so important, that you measure your tile so you know exactly what you're working with. All right, we have 19 and 5/8. Now we're going to come down here to the bottom where we're going to fit this in. All right, and we're going to measure both sides. Here on the front, this would be the front of the tile, we have 19 and 3/8. Okay, now back here, we have 19 and 8, maybe, well, in between a 16th plus. All right, so 19 and 16th plus. Now, so I'm going to cut the back side at 19. All right. Then I'm going to cut the front side at 19 and 1/4. All right. That's going to give me some adjustment, and it should fit right in there. So, I've already laid this out. Okay. Okay, so you can see I've already laid it out. I've got my measurement here. Now, the next thing we're going to do, this is going to be my first cut. Then I've got to scribe it to the adjacent wall here to the corner. All right, so what I'm going to do is look at the bottom of the tile. The bottom of the tile touches, okay? Now, I'm going to come up here to the top. I've got a gap here at the top, all right? And it's a very long wedge, basically, is what that represents. Okay, let me get you into this corner so you can see exactly what it is. All right, that's kind of like a long wedge. So I'm going to take the distance, that space. All right, what is the distance? All right, what am I dealing with? I have 3/4 of an inch. From the wall to the outer edge of this tile is 3/4 of an inch. So since we're touching at the bottom, it's being pushed away at the top from the bottom. That's why I'll point out here on my tile, if you notice, I've got 3/4 of an inch already marked at the bottom, which will bring the top in tight when that's removed. Okay, and if you notice, I'm up here at the top, and I'm coming right out to this outer edge, okay? So you're just going to slide, the saw is going to finish off sliding across that, okay? But this is the first cut I'm going to make, is I'm going to cut this line. I'm going to come in and check it. Then if it's good, I'm going to come back. I'm going to cut this line. The cut's going to finish off sliding on the outer face of this edge. And it should just fit in there nice and tight like a glove and be a nice, clean, perfect joint. Okay? Now, but then I'm going to have to come back a smidge, so I'll have a grout line of about 1/8 of an inch. And that's what we're going to do. And that's how this is done. The gaps at the top, you cut the bottom. The gaps at the bottom, you cut the top. And remember, you cut the space. Whatever the space is here, you put it on the opposite side, whatever that is. And you're going to see how that works. Okay, we're out here at the saw. I'm going to point out to you something that you don't often hear, and that is on the pump. You can control the flow of the water coming off the blade because it has a tendency to want to wash off your pencil mark or your oil pencil, and so by reducing the water flow will help to eliminate that. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. Here we go. I'm going to pull this out of here. Now some of these have a little bitty finger turn, and you got to push your finger on it. Okay, it's not this easy. So this is a real nice feature. All right, that Ryobi, these little pumps have. All right, it's not a little more than halfway. Now let's watch the difference in how the water coming off of the blade and everything. You'll see it's been reduced. Well, it doesn't really look like anything's reduced. Okay, so we're going to do it a little more. Okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. Water's still spraying, but the force is not as great, which is what we're after. Now I've got this turned all the way down, okay, which I will show you. Okay, I've played with it, and I'm all the way down, as you see, on minimum. All right, and it's hard to tell, but it is the pressure and the force of this water is far less than what it was. Here we go. All right, there you go. It's not as great. It's a lot softer. The force isn't as great, and that's what we're after. Okay, the other thing is you can do, I've shown this before, you can use some type of a clear coat. I'm using polyurethane, all right? And you mist your pencil line with your poly, and you're using a pencil, school pencil, or a construction pencil. Mist it with your polyurethane, it coats it, it will not wash off. If you need to remove it from the tile, any leftover, a little lacquer thinner, a little fingernail polish remover, you know, that kind of thing, that will take it off. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is, if you don't have a shim that will work, you take a scrap piece of tile and you make your shim. Okay? I believe this piece of scrap will work for my shim. All right, if not, I have a few others here I can play with. Okay, so now we're going to align up this pencil line with the saw. The other thing, if you notice, on the tile, all right, is, okay, you see I've got this T right here. That stands for top. And this W here stands for wall. All right, so we don't get confused. There's no confusion. Now we're going to take the front of this blade, front of this tile, and we are going to line this up with the blade. All right, we're going to take that this pencil line, and I'm going to line it up with this here right to the blade. Then I'm going to make the adjustments necessary back here so that it's all in alignment. So when I cut, it cuts that angle with the shim. Okay, now, this is where this comes in. Now, will that work? All right, now this works here. You see the shim. You see the shim here, all right, that I've inserted down on top. You see that the gap, all right. Now, I'm also in alignment, all right, with the blade and this edge. Right here. You look down and you see that lip right there? That pencil line is right in a line with that lip, right to the outer edge of that lip. Therefore, all I got to do is hold down on my tile and cut it. Okay? Now it's right where I want it there. And that's right where I want it there. Okay. Get that adjusted. And just got to knock this down just a hair. Okay. Now, as I'm losing my shim, it'll actually be better now because that'll just stay locked in place. That's what you want. Now I just pull this back against the fence, make sure I'm lined up here at the slip where I want it, and I'm good there. And I'm good here. Now, if you need to adjust, I just kind of pull this back a little bit so that I can move this over the little bit that I need to adjust it to the blade. By slipping this shim out, by pulling it out, it gives me a little bit more space that I need for moving it away from the blade. Right now, as you see, I'm holding down with my hand on this, and I'm going to cut. I'll zoom in to hit the button. There we go. All right, here we go. Okay, bring it over here. All right, you can see here how that, I find the edge, there we go. Right there's the lip I was talking about right there. You see it? I got a little bitty corner there I need to cut off in just a second. And it crosses over that lip, all right? And it's all in a line, okay? Right to the blade, so we are good, and that's how you know. We're gonna go back into the shower and check this out. Okay, well, the end of part 1. There'll be part 2, and while I'm thinking about it, now you also want to adjust for any high spots in the floor along that edge of that tile if there is any. So you need to give consideration to that as well. as well as height and then the height of your tile, and the combination of both, gives you your overall depth or measurement from the floor up, which means if you have a 3/8 thin set and your tiles 3/8, that gives you 6/8, which is an 1/8 inch away from 1 inch. So you have about 5/8 or so max that you can cut off your tile if necessary, your last tile on the floor, for if you need to make any serious adjustments. So hopefully it's not ever that bad. All right, I'll give you more information in the next video. And this 2020 ID, that's just something I'm doing on the side. It's not a normal part of my channel, but I think it's necessary. So, all right, we'll catch you on the next one.